mentioned it to a longtime friend, an old professor of mine at USC. When I ran into him, I said, Kelly, I'd love to, can you just listen to it and make sure I'm on the right track? And never gave it to him. And a week later, he called me and asked me to come in to read for a cartoon that he was directing. And I had done nothing, no voiceover work before, and he coached me and he basically said, this is how you do this. And I got it. I got it. And I have a reoccurring role on a cartoon from nothing. And it happened the minute that I started to get in line with what I wanted to have happen. And within 2 months, I've started to book other, I haven't carried a show, I haven't played a lead in a show since I left high school. And when I left high school, I have some of you who, is anybody in the process now? I was a bit of a diva in high school, and I vowed to myself that when I went to USC that I would not bring that with me. And that was the word that I hung on to. And I've written pieces about it, and the role that I'm playing is the role of diva. That's the character's name. It's everything. The thing that Karen said that I really identify with is that she called it, I don't know what she called it, promptings, internal promptings. I call it the omens, the things that are the people on the street that are telling me why don't you do voiceover, and I just started listening to what was supposed to be happening to me and listening to myself to find out what I wanted to be doing. And I swear to God, it was that fast that it just started to happen.
I'm going to insert every once in a while little things that I just want to point out and underline that I think are important in what folks are saying. Again, that thing, that the voice inside, whether internal promptings or whatever you want to refer to it, it's there for a reason. And we all try to go out and get justification for it. I'm not crazy, am I? Or I'm just lying to myself, or it's just my ego, or, all those things. And certainly it's possible that our voices can get a little crazy and exaggerated in there, we all know. But essentially what that voice is saying to you is probably worth listening to and worth following. And I think a very good signal that it's time to sit down, regroup, is that thing of feeling obligated in so many directions that are all other people. And it isn't that we don't want to be with our friends, do things for our friends, do things for the world in general, but it's an easy way to avoid what we need to be doing by making sure we're taking care of all these other obligations. And I think that moment when you look around and go, well, I've got to go here for this, and there's that for that, and there's this person who needs me here, and I feel really necessary in the world, and that sometimes is also a signal that maybe you ought to sit down and really ask, what's the internal voice saying? I also truly, and you all have heard me say it so many times, there is a necessity for storytellers, whether those be directors or actors or poets or writers or composers or singers or improv people or circus clowns, but the people who bring human emotion to life in front of other folks and contribute to that are necessary. We need the story. And I think the voices are installed for reasons that we can't understand necessarily, but must be listened to. I don't understand the voice inside a brain surgeon's head that says, cut somebody's skull open and poke around with their brain, put it back together and go to lunch. I don't understand that voice, but thank God those brain surgeons listen to that voice, because if you need brain surgery, thank God that man or woman listened. And, sometimes our folks, the people around us, other folks gently will say, there are easier things because they love us. Or there are the assholes who go, actor? Yeah, like what restaurant? Those people who so resist the fact that they go to movies, they turn on the TV, who do they think does that? You know, they're so like nasty about it that that's discouraging. And then we listen to those outside voices. That inside voice is speaking the truth. It may need to be eased up or encouraged a little, but it's telling us the truth. Who has something to say or add?
I think it's good to look at your career like you know when you're on like the thing at the gym, you got like it's like a little dot. It goes bit 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 bit, and then so here comes a hill. There's because you got to work a little harder, and then you go. There's valleys. You go up and down, and I came out here from Milwaukee like 1997, and I came out here because with Dan, actually, we drove my Honda Civic. And I had like a comic book that I had published, and it was going to be, it was optioned to be made into a movie, and I thought, oh wow, this is it. You know, I've hit the big time. Oh, this is gonna be cool. So I come out here thinking that, oh well, I'm going to write the movie, and then they say, you're a comic book writer. You don't write movies. We get screenwriters to do that, and that was like my first sting. You know, that I didn't know. You know, so. I went to Dan. Well, how do you become a screenwriter? And he said, well, I think somebody told him that you write a spec script. I said, well, let's do that. And so we write a spec script, and it gets handed around, and we got an agent, and you know, and it really is. The business is all about timing and luck, but it's. I think Robert Evans said like luck is opportunity mixed with preparation. So we didn't realize it, but for the 5 years we were working as comic book artists, we were actually preparing to become screenwriters. And I, as an artist, was preparing to become a director. And it just so happened that we were in the right place in the right time, handed this thing over. And we got very lucky and like had like a bunch of stuff happen to us right away, very early. So within like a year, we had like a movie in the works and a TV pilot, and we thought, oh wow, this is it. We won the lottery. In like 2 years, it was all over. And it was done. It was done. And like, you know, at first I was like, oh, I'm making big checks. And wow, it's going to be like this forever. And then 2 years later, I'm like, oh, shit, I don't have any money. And
you're old news.
And I'm old news, you know. And the people that were like, you know, calling me weren't calling me anymore. And it's just it's not that they didn't care. It's just, unfortunately, it's like you talk about your friends that are famous. Oh, they don't talk to you. Usually the case is not they don't care about you anymore. It's like in this business, it's really hard to have a relationship with somebody unless you're working with them, you know, because you're constantly going from one job to the next, and you try not to be offended by that, I guess, you know, but it stings, it hurts. And I was at a valley where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I might have to call it quits. And I was talking with my friend Dan, and I said, well, I really want to direct, but no one will let me direct because I don't have a reel. And I said, well, how do you get a reel? And I said, well, you shoot a bunch of stuff. And so, oh, well, let's do that. So we created like this website. It was like, you know, like 2003. This is like all pre-YouTube kind of stuff, where we were just like, we're going to shoot little shorts. Now today everybody kind of does it, but back then, like no one was really doing it. We were going to shoot like these 5-minute shorts once a month, and I said, this is what's going to teach me how to direct. And so once a month for like, you know, a couple of years, I did a short a month. So like after a year, you know, that's like 12 shorts, you know, and after a couple of years, that's a lot of shorts. And that stuff got me a job directing on the show on Comedy Central, and now, you know, I'm being considered for, you know, like feature stuff too, and it's and now like the TV thing is kind of going away, you know, and people are looking at me as a director, and they're like, well, you're a director, we get somebody else to write. And I've been a writer for like 10 years, and I'm like, I would argue that I have more experience as a writer. And it's, no, this is how it's done. And so